All I can say is that the fake news just doesn't get it, do they? And boy, oh boy, did they swoon. They thought they had a redo of Watergate, their new John Dean. This very junior person, her name is Cassidy Hutchinson, sworn in today at the January 6th hearing. Now, let's see, what's special about her? Quite frankly, I think they picked her in part because of her looks.
That creep is Newsmax host Greg Kelly, and he's being a total creep, much like other Trump lackeys are, because of the fact that Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony before the House Select Committee investigating the January 6 riots happened to be incredibly credible and damning for Donald Trump, Mark Meadows, and others within Trump's administration. And sadly, that's far from the end of his creepy and weird rant. Here's more of what he had to say.
Quite frankly, I think they picked her in part because of her looks. Yes, a lot of this stuff was done based on optics. Absolutely. We'll get to what she said in a moment. They've done this before. They had hundreds of cops to choose from. They chose Miss Edwards. Do you remember her with the blonde hair? They specifically chose her. And for their fancy photo ops, when they show off the Capitol Hill police, who do they put out there? Folks who look like this, okay? It's all a game. It's all a game. And they really made this witness, I think they dressed her up real nice. I think they may have sent her to some sort of rancho relaxo, but take a look at, I mean, that's what she looked like back at the White House. Here's what she looks like today. I think they gave her a bit of an appointment with the fashion police or something. This was a disaster for them. They're impressed by what she looks like, but her story does not add up.
What? She testified because she was a top aide for White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. So she, like, what? Like, none of that made sense. Also, let's bring that video back up, because I want to get back to the part where he tries to make a point about how different she looked during the hearings. She didn't look different at all. She looked literally like, with the exception of a different colored blazer, she looked exactly the same. And look at him throwing the Capitol police officers under the bus. Like, oh, look at the Capitol police officers, they're ugly? Is that what he was trying to say there? Like, what does he do? You guys suck at debunking what she testified. They're so desperate, Jessica. They're looking for, she looks exactly the same. She looks exactly the same.
Let's, I got a makeover. I look very different now. Let's see.
Jessica, did you go to Rancho Relaxo?
The hair was up, now it's down. Men are very confused by this witchcraft from women changing their appearance.
It's so confusing. It's so confusing.
Different person.
One minute she had her hair up, and then all of a sudden she had her hair down. I think she went to Rancho Relaxo. I also think you shouldn't trust her. That's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to pretend that this woman should not be trusted because she's attractive. By the way, keep it in your pants. What's going on, Greg Kelly? Keep it in your pants. What is going on? The American people don't need to know about your perversions, okay? Like, keep it to yourself. Do you have actual counters to what she testified? Do you have any evidence that she was lying under oath while she was testifying? You know, interesting that they keep attacking her for the way she looks, whatever nonsense I mean, Trump administration officials, like, was it Jason Miller? I keep mixing up their names. One of the Millers, Steve Miller, my bad. Steve Miller, see, I keep mixing it up. Steve Miller trying to be dismissive of her, like, no one even really, she wasn't even a top level official. She was Mark Meadows' top aide. What are you talking about? Yeah. Do you have anything to counter what she testified? Do you have any evidence she lied under oath? Oh, you don't? Then shut up.
He insisted, Meadows, by the way, insisted that she was in every meeting. She was in an office that was in the West Wing. Come on. I mean, everybody knows this. These are common facts among people who are in the administration. They're trying to deflect this absolutely. And then there's just this disgusting part of this story. I really believe that there's a certain type of man who just cannot see women as peers, as colleagues. Like he's looking at Cassidy Hutchinson. This was someone who was an aide to the White House chief of staff. And he's like only able to think about how she looks. There's something sick among these guys, and I feel bad for them. Think about all of the, people that they have to work with. Can they think straight when they're at work? I mean, this guy is supposed to be covering the news. Think about what her testimony was. Come on, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, it really is. Now, other attempts to essentially dismantle her by these idiots include Donald Trump attacking her for her handwriting. Okay, he went on this unhinged rant, multiple unhinged rants on Truth Social. I hardly know this person. Cassidy Hutchinson is, other than I heard very negative things about her, a total phony and leaker. And when she requested to go with certain others of the team to Florida after my having served a full term in office, he definitely wrote this. Sometimes he posts things and you're like, he didn't write that. He wrote this though. I personally turned her request down. Why did she want to go with us if she felt we were so terrible? I understand that she was very upset and angry that I did not want her to go or be a member of the team. She is bad news. Okay, nailed it. Then he goes on to say her body language is that of a total bull artist, Fantasyland. There is no cross-examination of this so-called witness. This is a kangaroo court. You didn't want Republicans to be part of the House Select Committee. So you made your bed. Now you should roll around in it, enjoy. Bad handwriting, that of a wacko, he asked. Total phony. I never said Mike Pence deserves it to be hung. Another made up statement by a third-rate social climber. So by the way, that was some pretty damning testimony. She testified that Trump not only knew that the rioters were heavily armed, when he was asked to step in and calm them down as they were headed to the Capitol chanting Mike Pence, he allegedly refused to stop it and said that Mike Pence deserves it. And then you have other Republicans saying stupid things like Christian Collins. So they're calling her Heard 2.0, Amber Heard 2.0. They're trying to compare her to Amber Heard. There is no comparison. She was a top aide for Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows. And she's testifying things that don't make Trump look so good. And so you guys can label her Amber Heard all you want, but they've got receipts. Like they didn't even, Trump and his idiot, like Trump officials and campaign people didn't even try to hide what they were doing. We just have more evidence now, evidence that's being provided by people who were privy to these discussions, people who were part of the administration. You guys were pretty transparent about trying to steal the election. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, honestly, Amber Heard 2.0 is an interesting thing to say. These guys are kind of telling on themselves when they say stuff like that, because regardless of how insane that case was and how much was going on just between the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, there was one thing that was consistent with how the Amber Heard trial was received in the media, and it's the same kind of misogyny here. So if this is evoking like a memory of Amber Heard, let's think of why. Amber Heard was questioned about her career and her qualifications, which had nothing to do with her testimony. That's happening here with Cassidy Hutchinson as well. Let's think also about how she's now just being accused of lying without any merit or counter arguments being given by these newscasters who are doing it. They're not presenting any evidence to back that up. She's being deeply judged by really creepy men in the media. And so in that sense, when I think about people saying this Amber Heard case is going to set a precedent for how women are treated in the future, it kind of did, right? Now they're saying it's just like Amber Heard because this is a woman who is lying for what? For attention? It's pretty sick what these guys are doing to women. She's not gaining anything from this. What also did Amber Heard gain by testifying? She didn't want it to be a public trial. If anything, Cassidy Hutchinson's life is now under threat for the testimony that she gave. a social climber. I mean, it's really gross because on top of, the right just deflecting and blaming, they are also engaging in misogyny, and it's just not fun to watch.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.